So, why should businesses and startups protect intellectual property? Great question. I'm going to answer that today. Hi, I'm Derek Fahey. I'm a registered patent attorney with the Plus IP firm. We focus on software, medical devices, and cannabis related inventions. And this presentation is going to be answering some of the burning questions that I get from a lot of different startups, which is why should I protect my intellectual property? And I'm going to give the answer. In short, straight cash, homie. That's a famous quote by NFL Hall of Fame wide receiver and former Viking player Randy Moss. And the answer really is a lot of it is money. That's one of the main reasons why you should protect your IP. And I'm going to go into more information about this going through the slides. So first off, what is intellectual property? So intellectual property really is the concept of if you create unique, innovative things or ideas that potentially you should have the rights to it and exclude others from doing that particular thing. There are actually different types of subsets of intellectual property. So for startups, just like any other business, the different types of intellectual property law include patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. So the patents protect unique, innovative, and non-obvious designs and functional features. So, for example, a utility patent protects the functional features of an invention, whereas a design patent protects what a cool thing looks like. For example, if you have a unique product design for the product you're selling, you can protect that. Copyrights protect things like software code, books, photographs, anything that's affixed to a tangible medium actually can be protected with copyright law. Trademark law protects unique brands and logos, things that allow consumers to associate the particular good with the source. So when you think of Coca-Cola, you think of that company in Atlanta. Something else that can be protected with trademarks is what's called trade dress. Trade dress actually protects things that the look and feel of something. For example, the look and feel of the Amazon app, the Apple Store is actually as a registered trade dress. Things that are also protected with trade dress are the red bottom shoes by Christian Louis Vuitton, the green jacket for the Masters. Trade secrets means stuff that actually you can keep secret. For example, like secret recipes. Best example I could think of is Coca-Cola. The secret recipe for Coca-Cola is protected by trade secrets. That's actually one of the most valuable intellectual property rights of all time. So what are the benefits of IP for startups and why protecting IP matters? First off, economic benefit. When you have intellectual property, you can actually receive revenue as in the form of royalties or licensing agreements. For example, if you have a patent, you can actually license the right to use the patent to other companies and they can pay you a royalty fee and you wouldn't even have to actually sell the product itself. Another thing is that once you actually have an intellectual property right, you can actually leverage that right. For example, if you own some sort of patent or trademark that's valuable, you can actually get a loan against it. In other words, you can basically go to a bank and say, I own these rights, and the bank will use the rights as collateral in order to give you additional funds to go and get it. That's how many times intellectual property works. For example, just like a car or a house or a commercial building, you can go to the bank, use a building as collateral, and then get a loan based upon it. Another thing intellectual property allows you to do is to lock out your competition. If you were able to exclude others from doing what you're doing, it's a huge competitive advantage. The second main point is legal security. It's not only a way to enforce it against other people, but it can act as a shield to protect you from somebody coming to actually tell you can't do something. For example, if you are selling, you have a small business and you're selling across state lines, you can have registered trademark rights for the entire country. And that means that how someone were to come to you and say, stop using the brand name, you could say, well, actually, no, as it acted as a shield and prevent other people from telling you that you can no longer use that particular brand. So it acts as a shield. Another thing is that the registered trademark rights actually allow you to have leverage in lawsuits. While you don't want to, and many times you may not want to file a lawsuit, having registered intellectual property rights provides you with the leverage of saying, if I have to sue you, you're going to have to pay my attorney's fees and costs and also have mandatory damages. So stop doing what you're doing. It's a huge leverage point. So intellectual property rights actually provides you a leverage to enforce the rights against others if you need to. And lastly, market differentiation. good old, hey, I have a cool, unique design that's protected that could be used as a marketing and advertising technique to differentiate yourself in the market. So, what are the consequences of not protecting your IP? Well, number one, loss of revenue. If you don't lock out your competition, someone can actually take your great idea and then actually compete against you. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, in the patent world, if you don't file a patent application within a certain period of time and you're selling the invention and it's selling the product related to the invention, and you're actually doing really well, and someone says, hey, that's a great idea, and they start selling, if you don't file a patent application within 1 year of your first sale, you actually are prevented from getting a patent, and then everybody can compete against you. So huge loss of revenue. Another thing is discouragement and having a chilling effect. If you don't protect your IP, or the reasons why, the consequences of not protecting your IP is that how people are discouraged from actually innovating. The patent system works on if you create something unique and innovative and non-obvious, you're able to get a patent on the particular product. Now, if you're not able to get the patent, which grants you a monopoly, then you may be discouraged from spending all the time, money, and energy if you're not able to lock up your competition. So not protecting your IP may actually discourage people from actually innovating, because why would I innovate? I can't actually make money on it. And then obviously damage your brand reputation. Counterfeit products can actually hurt your reputation and brand. So for example, if you're selling products online and somebody starts using your brand and you start getting bad customer reviews because people think you're them, if you don't protect your image, okay, you may be confused with those people and your revenue may go down. So if you don't protect your IP, you may actually hurt your brand reputation. So what are some common mistakes for startups? Well, typically it's not being intentional. Not knowing what you have could really hurt you. For example, as I mentioned earlier, in the patent world, if you don't file for patent protection with a certain period of time, you may actually lose the rights to it. So big mistake. You need to make sure you know what you're doing. Talk to somebody, be intentional, know what you have, and see if you can protect it. Also, failing to enforce rights. For example, the Murphy Bed Company, or the Murphy Bed, was was actually a trademark that became so widely used, and it wasn't enforced, that the owner of the brand, the Murphy Bed, actually lost the rights. So if you don't enforce your rights, not only does it hurt you economically, you may actually no longer be able to use the term, may not have any protection at all. So very important to protect your rights. So what should startups do? Well, start early, consult experts, be intentional, pay attention. Sometimes not paying attention and not taking steps early to see what you have in order to try to protect it actually can hurt you more in the long term. So pay attention, be intentional, and try to protect those rights so you can increase your bottom line. If you have any questions, here's all my information. Please reach out to me. And thank you so much for watching. Follow us on Instagram. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and my family. Have a great day, everybody.